I know how we all feel, because I feel it the same way about the Astros. Banging on a trash can, looking up at street lights. The trash can scam, the 2017 season, it's hard to get past. It's really hard to get past. Because you feel it, you know that it happened, and you can't shake the fact that the Astros were cheaters.
Drumming on a street light.
Stinking, bloody cheaters. That's who they are. That's who they were. And they didn't really apologize. They never crashed and burned after that. They didn't have their World Series taken away from them. Yeah, Luno and Cora got fired, but ultimately, they never really had to pay a penalty. And then the next year was the COVID year, so they didn't play in front of fans. And it just felt like they never really got their comeuppance, because then they got great again last season, all the way to the World Series again, and then 106 wins this year. So it's dissatisfying that the Astros clearly cheated and never really seemed to pay a penance for it. But this one, this championship, is in a lot of ways the break from holding the cheating up as the reason the Astros are champions. They won another one. They won another championship. They closed the deal. They won a title. And you can't say it's because of cheating. So that's the first thing. They distanced themselves at least a little bit from only winning a World Series because they cheated. They distanced themselves from that reputation. Secondly, this Astros team had a feel-good part of it, which was Dusty Baker. And Dusty had been part of so many crushing, brutal losses as a manager. And Dusty had always just remained cool and composed and just the coolest cat that ever lived. Whether it's the sunglasses, the hat pulled low, the stature, the toothpick, the former player in him, whatever it was, Dusty just always was the coolest dude of the building. And after all of those losses, he still believed. After all of those collapses, he always believed. And it probably looked like, for many baseball observers, Dusty would never get another job again. And here are the Astros giving him a plum coaching job, managerial job, with a team ready to win. And all Dusty had to do was kind of put his little touch on it as a wise old sage. But he didn't have to micromanage. He didn't have to drag a bunch of losers to become a winner. He didn't have to manage a bunch of rebuilding draft picks, prospects, rookies. No, he got a plum job. And Dusty finally got the title. And I don't know if you look at this World Series or any World Series and say, yeah, that's the manager's World Series, because baseball's so not about the manager. But in this case, I felt like Dusty did add a level of, it's cool. We got it. Which maybe the Astros needed, because we've seen them tense and tight in some World Series. That was great. That was so cool to see Dusty finally win it. And then let me also add this. The Astros will always have the stain on 2017 because of the cheating. But let's be real. And I talked about this earlier in the World Series. They haven't won this much because of cheating. It's easy. It's easy to label, and it's easy for us to get our frustrations out. Ha ha, cheaters, caught. But that ultimately is not why they win. Their player development is insane. Who just won World Series MVP? Jeremy Pena, who in the ALCS was the MVP. 6 of 17, 2 homers, 2 doubles against the Yankees. So Jeremy Pena, in a 4-game sweep, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 6 for 17, named the LCS MVP. And then followed it up with another elite series in the World Series, going 10 of 25 with a home run, 3 RBIs, and outstanding defense. He becomes, as a rookie, only the 9th player ever to be the MVP of both the LCS and the World Series, and the first rookie position player ever to win World Series MVP. How insane. And how does this happen? Because the Astros just keep making these guys. That factory line that the Astros have just keeps making this type of guy. Here are the years since the Astros have really splashed, and the players they've developed each year as a rookie sensation and impacts rookie. 2014, George Springer. 2015, Carlos Correa. 2016, Alex Bregman. 2017, Yuri Gurriel. 2018, Kyle Tucker. 2019, Yordan Alvarez. 2020, Christian Javier. 2021, Luis Garcia. This year, Jeremy Pena. How do you survive losing the Springers and Correas to free agency? How do you survive losing the Garrett Coles? How do you survive in today's Major League Baseball world and having a 7 or 8 year run of being really good and a 6-year run of being a World Series contender every single year? In succession, you pump out Springer, Correa, Bregman, Gurriel, Tucker, Alvarez, Javier, Garcia, Pena. And Jeremy Pena, as a rookie this year, wins the MVP of the ALCS and the World Series. That's the secret sauce. It's not the cheating. That's the secret sauce. And 2 is different than 1. 2 championships is different. Ask the Legion of Boom, Seattle Seahawks. Ask the 1980s New York Mets. Ask the teams that were really good for a really long time but only have the 1 ring what 2 would have meant. I always find it interesting that when we talk to any of the members of the 99 Greatest Show on Turf St. Louis Rams, they inevitably bring up the pain of 01 versus the glory of 99. The Greatest Show on Turf had Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner, Orlando Pace, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. The list goes on and on and on. But when they talk about their run, it's, we needed a second. We had to get a second. You talk to those Mets players of the 80s, they got 86, but we blew it in 88. We were really good in 85. We should have been in the playoffs how many years if there was a wild card. They always talk about the what if. They needed another ring. And the Astros just got it. Being 2-2 in the World Series is way different than 1-3 over this last 6-year run where they've been the ALCS every single year. And the Astros, I think, in many ways, silence the trolls about, you can only win if you cheat. It's a really good season. 106 wins.